Uh-oh. John's trying to get Donkey to go upstairs. It wasn't working, but it's working now. Hi. Oh, hang on. Oh. I'm trying to get some more wool over here without knocking down a camera. Okay, hi. Oh. Oh my gosh. Hello. Hello, Kaylin, Irini. Hi. Tanya, you're up early? Elizabeth, how are you? Hello. Hello, Marie. How is everybody? Hello, hello. Hey, Carrie. Oh my gosh, Rhonda, we haven't seen you in a while. How are you? I talked to Eileen this morning. We had a great conversation, you guys. She sent me a YouTube video and I've been thinking about maybe even posting it. I don't know. It's so like about stuff that I've talked to you guys about a million times, and it kind of coalesces a bunch of things. It was really cool. So we had a nice chat about it. Elsbeth, how are you? Look at everybody. Andy said good morning. Oh yeah, it's only 11 o'clock there, right? Good morning, Tyra. Life is good. I think, Eileen, what it did is it made me feel like what I think in my brain and fight against in the world makes me, it's real. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes when someone else sees it, you're like, thank you. Knit, design, edit, repeat, sleep, repeat said 2 questions. 1, does anyone know a good place to find used weaving books? 2nd, I need to watch your dishcloth video, but what yarn did you use? It is it sugar and cream? Sugar and cream. You can get the big cones. You might not be able to in Alaska. I don't know how close you are to a Walmart, but I can buy big cones at my Walmart. Not all the colors, but. Hey, Debbie, you haven't made a live in forever. Deanna and Julie, look at you guys. Hello. Hello, Tiffany from North Idaho. Oh, Michael's here today. Hello, Michael. Eileen said I do. I think you're saying you do understand what I'm saying about it being one of those things where you kind of know it in your heart. I mean, I've known it in pieces, and I probably wouldn't have been able to put it in all those words either. It's really nice. I have something for you, Rhonda. I will message you. I need to get an address to mail you something. I have something for you. Irini, did you get your package yet? Irini ordered from the shop. I'm really curious if it got there yet. I could just look, but Robin said thrift books for used books. Is it just thriftbooks.com? Andy said just finished a pair of socks and a sweater. I don't know what to do now. Uh-oh. I've had that before where I like take a pause because I want to go in a million different directions. Rhonda said, I'm doing okay, just busy here with kids in college. Lindsay said, hello, my first time. Welcome, Lindsay. She said, hope you're all having a good day. Hope you are. Shetland Spinner said, hi, everyone. Elsbeth said, I'm on the struggle bus with hand carders. Blending alpaca with targhee. To be honest, Carrie, I will send you a link. To be honest, Elsbeth, I struggled a lot at first with hand carders, and I had to practice so much to get comfortable with them. I mean, it took me, I think, longer than most people. I think I was a slow learner, if that makes sense, but I eventually got there. I mean, what's the trouble you're having? Maybe we can help you. Okay, Arini said it's not there yet. I've got to think it's going to be there fairly soon. Debbie said, how's Donkey? I have a Tasmanian Devil foster here. He is wonderful. He's really coming along quickly on the training. The one thing he's still doing that we don't know how we're going to stop it is occasionally he will jump up on the bed where he sleeps with us and pee on it. So it has happened, I think, 4 times. And so, like, we have to take everything off. We have backup bedding and remake the bed. I bought a waterproof mattress pad cover, which is funny because, like, but we keep him off of it when he's not supervised. It was like just a second this last time. So Eileen said, good evening, was a great weekend. Had long chats with some of our tribe friends, lovely and nourishing. Spun and knitted, baked 2 loaves of bread. Woo! And now venison pie in the oven. How lovely. That sounds good. Hello, Andrea said, hello, working on some temperature socks. Think temperature blanket, just a smaller project. Okay, I will post it, Elizabeth. Carrie said, I still struggle with hand carders. I went to a flicker brush instead. I do think there's a learning curve. Hello, Lisa, how are you? Are you working on anything cool? Lisa's made a whole bunch of, like, animals and little outfits for the animals. They're gifts though, right? Kaylin said, I'm finally feeling excited about crochet again. Finished 1 cow in 2 days and working on another. That's cool. Hi, Athena. Eileen said, thanks for saying that, Trish. I feel I have still so much learning to do with the hand carders. I think the thing that I've done with the hand carders that made it the hardest is I put too much fiber on. For me, I'm not saying that's what anyone else's mistake, but I think that's always been kind of a recurring thing for me. Elizabeth said he sounds like he's marking his place, but he shouldn't pee where he sleeps. That's weird. Danielle said, hi, looking for feedback on the Ashford Knitters loom, 20-inch. I have a lead on a used one. Does anyone have one, and can they help Danielle? Elizabeth said, staple length is my issue, I think. Holding the carders when there's a really long staple, it makes me feel like I'm not blending, just brushing. Okay, so carders are better for something that's kind of shorter. Crystal said, last pair of troll socks has been a success. How long? How long has he been wearing them? Jason Momoa's here. You guys. I've been waiting. I figured at some point he was going to figure out we exist and he was going to get here. And I feel like Anne is going to be so upset. Rhonda said, temperature socks, interesting idea. Nicole said, I have a question about the temperature socks, but let me catch up. Nicole said, I'm working on 2 at a time toe-up socks and a crochet dragon. That sounds cool. Crafty intentions pattern. Debbie said, oh, that is tough. Is it an excitement pee? My foster is luckily only 30 pounds, but has bitten everyone. She is like a grumpy chihuahua with bigger teeth. Athena said, Jason's here again. Right. All we've been doing is keeping him off. Mama dogs should teach a puppy not to do that, not to pee where they sleep. So we'll just keep working on it. Stuff gets washed and we have bedding. So, and it's not while we're there. It's weird. Elspeth said, carders are handmade. Were tossed into a secondhand wheel purchase. They're not very stable. And the staples the previous owner used are uncomfortable. Oh. I guess it could be the tool. Maybe it's partially the tool. It sounds like what you're describing might be a little bit harder to get to the hang of. Lisa said, hi, all, working on a stash busting and knitting a sweater for a friend with yarn she won 10 years ago. That's awesome. Crystal said, the grand dog does pee the bed from time to time. Talk to a dog trainer about it. Maybe. I do know one. I actually spun dog hair for a trainer that's local, and I was thinking about asking her if she could work with us on getting him into the kayak. Hey, Candy. Elizabeth said, true, but you said he was tied up always. Yeah. Before coming, yes. He may not have had much choice. I agree. And then he may also not have, like, learned that. Do you know what I mean? So, whatever. It was always like, I'm just going to pee here. You know what I mean? But it's weird. He knows he's not supposed to, but we'll get there. Kimberly said, I'm picking out some VM from Wash Wool from one of my spicy fibers, preparing a package to gift to a fiber friend. That's fun. Lindsay said, hey, Jason, hope you're doing great today. Oh, you guys are funny. Elspeth, that would be good. Yes, post a picture so we can all see. Tracy said, question for the gang. I need a suggestion for soft yarn for baby blanket. I have a hard time ordering online unless I know it will have a nice feel. Do you want it to be washable? Do you want cotton or do you want acrylic? What do you want? Candy said, still haven't been spinning, knitting, or crocheting, more sewing to do. Cricut vinyl projects and helping. Sounds like you're busy. Helping Hubs in his new shop. Debbie said, I'm knitting a colorwork sweater. I decided to knit the sleeves right after finishing the yoke. Hopefully I won't regret that. You might be really glad. Hello, Shaylee. How are you? Lisa said, we had a dog that would get mad at my husband. He would pee on his side of the bed. He actually pees on his own place because he has his own blanket and pillow because his shoulders are bigger and he can't just lay his head on the on the bed. He needs a pillow. I can't believe I'm telling people this. So he actually pees on his own blanket and then it gets on the rest of the bed. You know, he misses or whatever. So I don't know, but we will get there. Shaylee said, trying a Zoom loom. Not for me. You might just hang in there a little bit. I didn't like it at first. Shetland Spinner said maybe a blending board would work better for carding alpaca and targhee. For blending them, it might work better. Michael's dressing his loom. Oh, Michael. What pattern? I think it was Bertha's towels or something from Handwoven for my first overshot. Not saying this is your first, but they turned out really cool. Tracy said, washable for sure. I usually use acrylic. I haven't in a long time. I haven't done like straight baby yarns and stuff. I'm sure some of us have suggestions though. Carrie said, OMG, that's freaking adorable. I took a picture, Carrie, and sent it to my best friend. I will, if I remember, I'll send it to you. Remind me. Crystal said, yes, Pibbles like blankies and pillows. But, okay, for serious, every time he was laying down, he would put his head on something because he can't, his shoulder prevents him from, like, you know what I mean? So he's got his own pillow. It's at the foot of the bed. It's like a tiny bed. Okay, I have the question about the temperature socks. Do you start like at the top of one sock, go to the bottom, and then do the same thing? So, or do they match? Are you doing 2 at a time? Nosy. Candy said, if you don't mind working with a fine, Universal Yarns has Uptown Baby Sport and an anti-pilling acrylic that's super soft. Love working with it. That sounds like a good one. You could always double it too. Elsbeth said, oh, thanks, because they were tossed into a purchase. I thought they might work. Yeah, well, it might help if we saw them. Deb said, I got some sock tubes cranked last night trying to mark where heels and toes go. Prayers needed. Fingers crossed. Hey, Jerry. Jerry said, hi, everyone. I applied a small skein with my Turkish spindle, and now I'm spinning the last bit of roving. Oh, doggone it. Hang on. Let me turn that down. I messed up. I normally turn off Facebook. I'm sorry, you guys. And I'm sorry to who just messaged me. I promise you I will read it as soon as we're done. And I did see a glimpse of it. And you know what? I think you could be exactly right. But I will talk to you about it after. Let's see. Carrie said, thank you. I love cute animal pictures like 98% of the population. Well, I was telling her that he has like basically his own little bunk at the end of the bed. So silly. She loves her dog like I do, so it's okay. Suricata Crafts said I'm finishing up a stroller blanket in Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted, and it's lovely to work with. So maybe that's a good option. Okay, 2 at a time toe up. So they're the same. I think this is a really interesting idea. So do you just go for like a couple of months and then do a new pair because it doesn't have enough rows for a whole year? Curious. Candy said I was curious about the temp socks too. Never heard of doing one before. I love the idea. Sarah said for baby blanket, I use either Lion Brand Pound of Love, or Hobby Mega Ball. Hello, Sophie. Thank you and welcome. No, Elsbeth, it wasn't. It was one of you guys. No, it's okay. You guys, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I normally turn it off and I forgot. No problem. Everything's good. I just don't want anybody to think I just shut it down and we'll forget all about it. Carrie said the thing that keeps me from temperature projects is that it would drive me crazy to do 1 row per day. You could wait to the end of the month. The thing that stops me from doing them is the ends. The weaving in of the ends. Danielle said I like the Bernat. Is it Bernat? How do you pronounce that? Softy Baby. It's about a DK weight. Hey Sherry, she said I just left work driving home and listing. Isn't that nice? You're out of work. Okay. Jenny and Clyde said any suggestions on how to spin cotton? I do. I have suggestions. You need to go so fast. However fast you're going, you need to go faster probably. And also try to spin it thinner because if it gets thicker, it tends to want to be ropey, if that makes sense. Hello, Karen. I was thinking about you just the other day and wondering how you're doing. Probably yesterday or the day before. Elsbeth, it was an instant a DM direct message. Andrea said we'll see. First time trying this. I like long socks, but we'll take a look in June. I'm usually doing it once a week. So okay. Stacey's knitting fingerless gloves. I just read Carrie. She said, "Oh, I didn't even think about the ends." I missed you too, Karen, and I worry because I know you were gone for a while last year, or maybe was it? Yeah, last year. And then I think, oh, I hope nothing's, gone that way that you had to do that. You know what I'm talking about. Candy said, go faster. I'm picturing things flying everywhere while one frantically spins some cotton. It needs a lot of twist because the fibers are so short. Okay. Jenny said that makes total sense because the rope feel is what I was dealing with. Thanks. Yeah. Eileen said, can you not weave in ends as you go? Like catching floats every other stitch for 10 or 12 stitches at the end of the row. Before the last 10 stitches you weave in that end too. That's how I do it. You totally can. You can. Lots of people do. Sarah said, give Trisha a like. Please do if you can. I do appreciate it. Terry said, hi, I made it. Hi, Terry. How are you? Lindsay said drop spindles are easier for me to spin cotton for some reason. Why do you think that is, Lindsay? Let's discuss it. Andra said, yeah, weaving in as I go. It's still the ends for me. Like, you guys comment on this blanket all the time. There were so many ends. Karen said, I kind of worry about a temperature blanket because the next year the information is kind of obsolete and I don't think I would be as invested in having it as an heirloom and kind of odd to give. Okay, so I was thinking about this week because that grandson of ours is going to be born anytime. Mightn't it be fun to do one of his first year? Because then that would be a year, like starting on the day he's born, that would be a year, that would have like big meaning. Do you know what I mean? Tracy said, I thank you everyone for the suggestions. I will research once we are done here. Let us know what you decide. I can't see what I'm doing. Lindsay said something to do with the tension on the ring distaff, and for some reason it makes it easier to draft. That's interesting. That makes sense. She said easier to control of twist without having it pulled out of my hands. Candy said I've never tried spinning cotton on a drop spindle yet. You guys know I've spun on drop spindles. I can do it, but it really isn't my jam, so I don't do it a ton. Crystal said to Karen, you can do a tent blanket for the year of a special occasion that happens. Candy said, are you in baby knitting mode yet? I knit him a sweater. I knit him a little Grampy sweater. It's really cute. I didn't take pictures. And I gave it to them at their shower. But I haven't knit a ton because they have so much stuff. And I feel like babies can only wear it for just such a short time. So I'm not really sure. But I'm super excited for him to get here. It could literally be any time. Elizabeth, Tracy, and Jenny and Clyde all thought maybe it's a good idea. I'm thinking about it. But then do I give it to him at graduation? Because it's going to be huge. Danielle said the only temperature blanket I've made was for my parents' 40th anniversary. I looked up the info from their first year married. That's sweet. I love that. Stacy said there's a meme about he or she is a 10 but. She said my daughter showed me one that said she's a 10 but those ends weaving in ends. I hate it. Athena said I like the idea of a temperature baby blanket. It's a cute gift. Carrie said, maybe it's that I don't care about the temperature that much, but if I can assign colors to something a baby does daily, but that might be gross. Oh. I do have to tell you guys something. I keep forgetting. We are going on a trip in February, so I'm going to miss a Sunday, and then I'm going to have one that's a little bit later. But I will let you guys all know ahead of time in the Facebook group. I can't tell you the dates off the top of my head because I don't remember. John's very excited and counting the days down. It's for his birthday. He's going to be double 30s. I don't know. I'm trying to make it sound young. Candy said, aw, sounds cute. For sure on how short the wear period is for babies. That's the thing. I mean, I will continue to make him stuff, but, it'll just be one thing at a time in different sizes so he can enjoy it, Elsbeth said my temperature blanket would be mostly blue with a couple of red stripes in the middle. Mine too, Elsbeth. And dang it, I hate that. Kimberly said, is it weird that I actually enjoy picking, opening, and removing VM? No. But I do hate cheatgrass. I don't know what cheatgrass is. Candy said my head went to shades of brown on something the baby does daily. Tracy said, where are you going? We have to know. We're going to Texas for his birthday. Shetland Spinner said, for cotton, the fibers are short, so a supported spindle is it Tackley? I never heard anyone say that out loud. I just read the word. Works well. Look into a charco, which spins very fast. It will make short work of cotton. I mean, a charco would be nice, but Crystal said he seems young still. I don't really think about, that stuff, but I gave him a surprise party for his 50th birthday. And then a couple of months ago, he was like, hey, maybe we should go away for my 60th birthday. I think he was trying to avoid me doing that again. Because I lied so many times while I was trying to get him like there and get it ready and all that stuff. And also one of his friends visited from Kentucky for it. So I had like snuck behind his back and emailed him to get him to come here. And when the party was done, I was like, "Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to tell any more lies. I lied so much. It was awful." Jenny and Clyde said, "I've been blessed with my first granddaughter and been always trying to keep a few sizes." Oh, nice. Irini said, I did not know what a temperature blanket is, and I just Googled it. Oh, that's nice. Isn't that fun?" Danielle said, I've seen that some people do the temp blanket, but rather than changing color, they play with texture, doing a different stitch. Then the end weaving isn't as big of a problem. That is a great idea. Rhonda said, Texas, where in Texas are you going? I may be able to recommend some restaurants. I'm not sure if it's okay with him if I say where we're going, but I'll tell you in DM if you want. I don't mind, but I don't know why he would care. I'm waiting to hear if he yells down at me. Elsbeth said to Kimberly, I have about 50 pounds of raw alpaca fleece in storage right now. I processed my first fleece over Christmas. Very, very dirty, but it's beautiful. Did you get all the way through one already, Elsbeth? Kimberly said, Carrie, enjoy picking locks or hate cheat grass? I love picking locks and I love flicking locks. But my hands get sore after a while, so I'm kind of like careful. Andrea said, I like that idea, Danielle. I do think that that might be a better way for me to go. Another thing we're going to do, which I'm going to do, which they won't know about if I tell you guys here because they definitely don't watch, is I'm going to open him an email address when he's born, and then I'm going to send pictures and stuff like that whenever we have them, and then when he's like a grown up, I'll give him the email address and the password. So he'll have all those years of pictures and videos and all that stuff to look through. You know, and I figured we'd write him little memories when we get to visit and stuff like that. Wish I had thought of it before. Dawn said, currently doing a temp blanket and I'm doing twisted fringe on the side for my spawn that loves fringe anyway, so no ends to weave in. That's a great idea too. Nicole said, yeah, me too. I just Googled what a temp blanket was as well. Deb said, wait, I missed it. What's because you're a stalker? It's no, that. Oh. You mean because I don't want to, I'm not sure if he's okay with me? I don't care. I mean, no one's going to show up, right? And honestly, I wouldn't mind meeting with a few tribers if there's some around the area, so I just have to clear it with him. Kimberly said, alpaca and llama love the dirt. I have some of that too. So many rinses. No joke. They do love it. It's weird to wash too. Elsbeth said, I got through the processing, but I have tubs of wash-dried fiber from the one fleece. I need a drum carter stat. Yeah. Eileen said, those are great books, Athena. Jessica said, hi, everyone. Hello, welcome. Terry said, happy birthday, 60 is great. Just had mine. It is the 15th of February, so it's like 3 weeks away. Well, we're leaving in 3 weeks. Stacey said, that is such a cool idea. It's not I did not come up with it, but I saw it somewhere and I thought, I'm doing that. You know, next time there's another new person in the family. In fact, you know what? I should just start doing it for everybody, all the grandkids. Just start where I am and add what I have. Rhonda said, I so wish I had done the email address for my kids. I mean, I wish I had long ago known about that idea. Crystal, you noticed. Crystal said, so you fixed the wheel. The wheel is fixed. You can see. John fixed the wheel. And you know that $200 motor that they said I would have to pay for plus shipping both ways? He fixed this. He replaced everything, electronics, everything for $48. And that includes the tools to modify like the inside because the motor was a tiny bit bigger. And they had said that if they had to do that, they would have to like, I don't know, router out a little bit more wood or whatever from the inside. Everything was $48. So Candy said that's great, especially since I feel like everyone has gone digital that no, wait a minute. No one does a photo album anymore. Do people still not do that? I would have think, gosh, wouldn't you miss that? Kimberly said, okay, so I'm not that weird then. I think it's rewarding to see a pile. I love it. But it's like, I do a bunch and then I don't want to do it again for a while. Simone is reading Yarnitecture. I think that's one of the best spinning books I've ever read. And Respect the Spindle. I love Abby Frankmont. Have any of you read these and do you like any other spinning books? I didn't read Respect the Spindle, but I love Abby Frankmont, so I'm sure it is genius. Eileen said, if you two are coming to the UK, I definitely want to see you. I'm so sorry. We're not, but someday we will. I think we still both want to someday. Candy said, still a cool idea, even if you got it from somewhere. I just don't want to take credit. Athena said, I'm weaving kitchen towels, and I have tried single, double, and triple weft to get matching dish towels and thicker hand towels, but 3 threads from one cone is a bit of a task. Tips, anyone? So let me tell you what I do. I don't know if this is a tip or not, and I can't be the only person doing it, but I use a selvage, floating selvage on my regular loom. If this is a rigid heddle loom, it wouldn't really work the same. But if you have a regular loom, I use a floating selvage and I just throw the shuttle however many times without changing the set, without changing the treadle. And I do beat in between. Does that make sense? Lisa said, Yarnitecture is awesome. Jillian Eve has a wee podcast of her top 5 spinning books, Simone. There you go. Crystal said, wahoo, way to go, John. Kimberly said, I finally finished watching one of Lavage's fleeces. I will also be sending some of these Gotland locks to that fiber friend. That's nice. Elizabeth said, I noticed that it was running, but I didn't want to say anything because last week I said it and it stopped. Everything's new. It's not going to stop. Tracy said, he is amazing. Tracy, can you imagine? And he just like, he encountered some different little, roadblocks or bumps in the road, and he just worked through each one of them. Since it wasn't under warranty anymore, we just figured might as well try, Sarah said, I noticed it was working, but I didn't want to say anything and jinx it. Yep. Irene said, way to go, John. He is a great handyman. I'm telling you, he is so... I was so stressed about it because I'm like, it's just a paperweight and it's been so long. Eileen said, hi, Simone. I thought it was Athena who had written that. I have read both books, love them both, but I would have loved to learn more from Respect the Spindle. I had so many questions. That's interesting. Rhonda said that green you are spinning is so pretty. Thanks. Can you see the whole... This is one I kept. He dyed this and I ended up keeping it. And I'm really not normally a green person, but I'm just very drawn to it for some reason. Hey Kai, how are you? Sally said, can you use fabric softener on all yarns? I mean, I know a lot of people do, but I don't know if it really does anything or not. Athena said, I have a rigid heddle loom. You can still do it, but it's harder to do, Athena. Because you have to pick out one thread at either end and just go around the last thread and through the same set. Jenny and Clyde said, I'm doing journal entries per month. I'm doing per month with small Polaroid pictures of when I'm babysitting her. See, that's really nice. That's going to be the most beautiful gift someday. Crystal said the Spinner's Book of Yarn Design by Sarah Anderson is an excellent book. I have not read that. Candy said, what you spinning today? It is, I don't remember the name of the colorway, and it is BFL Silk. Eileen said, hey guys, don't forget that like button. Please do if you can. Yes, Rhonda, we were talking about it with this situation. She said, do I remember hearing John say that he wants to design a spinning wheel someday? He has, hey Evie, he has talked about it many times. It's been really hard to find time for something like that. He's even kind of sort of started a few times. So I do think someday maybe, but no, he works full time now. And he also has his like side business, which is sometimes very, very busy. So I don't know how we would squeeze that in. Evie's on lunch. Love it. Carrie, I knew you would love it. You and Mel are my green friends. Athena said, Eileen, I just thought I have to listen to this again. I missed it. I was typing. Kai said, great. Just finished some cashmere a couple days ago, and I'm trying to figure out what to spin next. It's hard sometimes, isn't it? Ooh. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. We got a loop. Crystal said, Troll is threatening to make my Nano spin faster. Really? How's he going to do that? Put a different motor on it? He did put a motor that would go faster. And I forget, I think it's got more torque. No, this isn't the one with more torque. Whatever. Eventually, we're going to do a video where he talks about what he did and kind of shows it in case anyone ever needs to do this. So we'll talk about it. Everything that he did, and I will link to everything he did in case somebody ever needs to like replace parts. Andy said my dog is barking at Luther. Your dog is not the first dog to watch Luther on TV. Carrie said if you do a Kickstarter, I'm in. Thanks. I never even thought about crowdfunding. I just always think, we have to just figure it out, but I guess I'm just too old to be thinking that way. It's not what I mean. I mean, it's not the way our brain goes when we're from our generation. Candy asked Kai, did you try out your new induction burner thing yet? Kai, are you dying on an induction burner? Because I'm using one and I would love to hear what you think about it. I had some struggles, but I think I've got it figured out now. Evie said, what is the best fiber to spin to wear next to skin? It depends on who you are, but you really can't go wrong like with Cormo or Merino, I think most of the time. Not all the time. It's got to be like a 23 micron or less. What else do you guys like next to skin? Rambouillet is nice. Targuy's pretty nice. Hello, Anne. How are you? She said, just passing by. Katie said, I'm a new weaver. I'm tempted to enter the Woolery weaving contest. I didn't even know about it. Tell us about it. Okay, I lost my place. Kai said, haha, no, need to make some time for dyeing. Too busy these days. What? It's too busy to dye fiber? Crystal said we have RC cars and the Nano is an RC car motor. That's what he put in the Hanson as well. But that's what was in it. She said he has the Go Faster motor. Eileen said, what did I miss Kickstarter? So Eileen, Carrie, I think it was Carrie, right? Asked. No. Who asked? I already forgot. Somebody said, Rhonda. Didn't John talk about maybe like designing a wheel someday? And he has talked about it quite a few times. And if you think about it now, John Clark of mine, has looked at and troubleshot and fixed so many wheels. Even wheels that you guys haven't seen because they came and went. So he has a lot of spinning wheel experience with a bunch of different brands, a bunch of different wheels. Elizabeth said I would totally be on board with a John Clark spinning wheel. Oh, Michael said I just took pictures of some of the cheatgrass seeds Kimberly is picking from Wasabi's lamb fleece. We'll post in the Facebook group. Thanks. Oh, Robin, yes. Robin said Polworth is good next to skin. Crystal said this East Frisian is next to skin. Margarita said, how's Luther? He is wonderful. He's right here. I think his age is starting to catch up a little. His winter has been a struggle for him, and he's never been that way before. So, but maybe it's because he's jealous, you know. Terry said, I'm knitting a hat for my best friend. Aw, her puppy ate the one I made her, but this one is my homespun. That's nice. You must love someone when you give them hand spun yarn finished items, I think. It's a lot of love in that. Kai said, maybe soon I'll let you know what I think about my burner. Jessica said, John is so supportive. I love the dyeing videos you do together. You know what? Sometimes, Eileen said I'm holding out for John Clark e-wheel. I mean, an e-wheel is definitely not off the table, but sometimes, like, even if I don't really feel like dyeing, he'll be like, let's go dye something, because he loves it. That's not really support. That's because he loves doing that. I mean, not taking away from it, because it's fun, but Kai said he should talk to my grandfather. He built my wheel. Maybe he will when he gets around to it. Candy said I looked up cheatgrass. Now I know what it is, and those are a pain. Timothy can be weird to get out of it, too. Those always feel like bugs. Ooh. I don't know what that is either. I mean, I may very well have pulled it out and just not known it, you know? Elspeth said enabler. Moi? How could you say such a thing? Chris said John has good color sense. You know what? He is not afraid of color, and I love that. It's really cool. Crystal said the couple that dies together stays together. He's not getting rid of me. And I mean that. Like, it would not be easy to do. Terry said she is the sister I chose. I love her. I have one of those friends too. If you have just a few friends like that in your whole life, you are luckier than most. Elizabeth said absolutely. Jenny and Clyde said I love John's color combinations. I'll tell you that a lot of the time he puts stuff together that I don't think that I would, and I end up thinking like that is so cool. Suricata, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Tell me if it's wrong. Said I have a 15-year-old son who is my dye buddy. He comes up with amazing color combinations I'd never try on my own. I do think dyeing with kids is such a fun thing. Like we have dyed basically with all of our kids. When I first started out, I was only using food coloring gel, and all of our kids have tried it. It's pretty cool. Kai said, whenever I'm up at the farm, I always dye fleeces with Maggie. Yeah, Kai, I have questions about what kind of burner you got. I want to talk to you about it. Because I struggled at first with my induction burner, and I think I have finally cracked the problems that I was having. So I guess I just want to know how it goes for you. I'll be looking for a video. I mean, no pressure, because I know you're busy. But I'll be looking for a video. Anne said, I love the dye videos where you and John dye together. Thanks. We just filmed one last weekend. I hope it'll be a bonus out this week, Friday. So, but because we're dyeing almost every week, I don't really know how to, I don't want to put up a dyeing video every week unless it's a bonus because I'm doing other things too. Rhonda said, I'm going to buy some Easter egg dye to dye fiber with this year. That is an awesome place to start. And because it's food safe, you don't have to like get rid of, or not get rid of, get separate utensils and all that stuff. So I think it's a fun place to go with it. That's why I started with the food stuff. It wasn't just because the dye is easy to get and less expensive. It was partially because I didn't have to buy a bunch of equipment that like couldn't touch food after. You know what I mean? So, anyways, Kai said I'll come soon. Need to mordant stuff since I usually use only natural dye. Oh yeah, it'll come soon. Sorry, didn't read that right. Um, Elizabeth said, "Did you ever create whatever it is you wanted to do with your breed study fibers?" I'm about half done, Elizabeth, and I am filming. But what I was doing was causing me some pain when I was having the shoulder trouble. So I did stop, and I think I'm ready to pick it back up again and finish it up. So eventually there will be a video. I'm filming it, and it's about half done. Kai said Kool-Aid is great too. We did some Kool-Aid to begin with early. I still have two different shawls. I dyed with Kool-Aid. They don't smell like grape anymore, which makes me a little bit sad, but they are still really, the colors are nice. Terry said, oh, I almost forgot to tell you about one of my birthday gifts. I got a Knitter's Pride row counter ring, and I'm really liking it. I'm going to have to look that up. Rhonda said, dyeing is hard in a rental house. I'm afraid of dyeing counters, etc., and it's not my house. Okay, Rhonda, go to a dollar store and get one of those shower curtain liners. Kai put me onto this because I didn't want to use plastic wrap anymore. So that will cover it all, and it won't matter if you spill some. You know what I mean? Get one. And you can get them at Dollar Tree. Marie asked, does food dye fade quickly? It does depend on the dyes. Crystal said, my food dyed stuff can fade or not depending on how well I set the dye. I also only do it on like stuff, or did it on stuff that was, well, that's not true. I only use Kool-Aid on stuff that was like a shawl or a scarf that wasn't going to get washed super often. But I did use the gel Wiltons on socks, and it barely ever faded. My mom has all those socks. Crystal said my food dyed stuff can fade or not depending on how well I set the dye. Elizabeth said, Rhonda, I felt that way about dyeing in my apartment. Marie said, I'm thinking about growing a dye garden. Any suggestions for plants? Now, I am not the natural dyer, but Eileen is, and Kai has done some, so they might be able to give you some suggestions. Jessica said, I love how the grape Kool-Aid breaks. It gives some cool shades of pink, purple, and blue. I do too. I really like it. Candy said, my counters are basically black with speckles, so you really can't see dye on them. I know what you're saying, Candy. Same here. That's not why I chose the black, but it's really nice that it never looks, never stains or anything. Crystal said the sweater I spun and dyed with food color is fading, but I deliberately didn't set the dye well because I wanted it to fade over time. That's fun. Ibrini, okay, so she said, did you finish the coloring of cotton you started? Did I miss the video? No, I have filmed the second video while I was on that break. So it's coming, and I will probably at least try one more technique so you can see it, but it's coming. Evie said you can also use tablecloth protectors for dyeing. Oh, that's a good idea. Or, one of those like outdoor tablecloths might be good. The ones that have like the felty on the back and then they're plastic on the other side. Rhonda said, what a great idea. Thank you. Elizabeth said, Candy, I chose black countertops for my new house for that same reason. Elizabeth said, my last Indian takeout spillage dyed my countertop. Guess I'm good to go with another crafts. Was it like saffron or... because that stuff has got some color. Kai said indigo, though I've never grown it completely from seed. It grows extremely quickly. Okay. And Lisa said madder and indigo are dye plants on my grow list this year. So with with madder, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm asking, not telling. I think you use the root, right? So, is that the same with indigo, or do you use the plant, or is it the root? Candy said I didn't choose for that reason either, but cool that you did. It is cool. It's a lot of forethought. Crystal said you can dye with mint and marigold. So what colors do you get? Caitlin said indigo's the leaves. Okay, thank you. Eileen said, wow, Marie, big question. I love to forage for colors and don't have a garden. I really like the book Wild Color by Jenny Dean. That might give you lots of ideas. Apple leaves are awesome. Okay, and Lisa said, yep, root for madder. And then madder's cool, and a lot of the natural dyes are cool because the different mordants make the colors different. I mean, that is such a cool thing. Crystal said marigolds, you get yellow, mint, yellowy greens to, I think, browns. Okay. Candy said you can get those felt back tablecloths on clearance a lot for $1 at Walmart. I always have some. They're so nice for protecting things, aren't they? Suricata said I dyed yarn with turmeric and it's gorgeous. Color fast. So far, smells like mustard pickles though. Thanks, Karen. It's mustard pickles. I dyed wool with turmeric once and it didn't stick. I'm sure it was user error. Caitlin said it's really fun doing fresh indigo on protein fibers. I save seeds each year to plant for the next year. And Elizabeth said, I just know that I am a clumsy person despite my desire to be as graceful as Audrey Hepburn. In my life, spills happen. Same. Karen asks, how are the puppies? Everybody's doing really well. Louie's right here, actually. Donkey's up with John in his office. They're doing well. They're really getting along. They're starting to play with each other, which is nice. It's really nice. Thanks for asking. It's been a journey with Donkey, but mostly good. Kai said logwood gives you purple when mordanted and blue when not. And Teresa said, I think the madder roots need to be 2 or 3 years old, still worth growing. Oh, I didn't know that. Marie said, I've read rhubarb root is a mordant. I keep trying to get rhubarb going here. I mean, I end up buying it, but you know. Lisa said, Kai logwood, do you know the Latin? Crystal said, okay, the YouTube channel that does natural dyeing is Cabin Boy Knits. I think I follow him on TikTok, maybe. Teresa said, I love rhubarb. You get a pretty green. What do you dye with the rhubarb? Is it the leaves? Eileen said, I also love the dark green, gorgeous from alder cones. You guys are so, you're a wealth of information. Pineapple weed is supposed to give a really bright yellow. And she said, woohoo, I made it for a few minutes this weekend. Has been the best. I washed and dyed my first fleece. And you missed Jason Momoa. He was here. I mean, it said it was him, so it must have been him. Oh, okay. Eileen said not gorgeous Scott. Okay. She said I love, so it would have been I love the dark green I got from alder cones. Okay. Kai said, what do you mean by Latin? She means the Latin name of the plant, Kai. You know, because we use different like regional names for different plants. Jessica said, I've dyed wool using rhubarb leaves. It gave an interesting green. Caitlin said I think logwood probably has, oh, dogwood dyes. Dyer has a lot of info. Teresa said, I use the leaves. Crystal said, Latin is the language of the scientific names of plants. I'm sorry, Anne. Don't be heartbroken. I'm sure he'll come back sometime. Don't even worry. I said too, like, Anne is missing it. I can't believe this. Lisa said, Kai, the botanical name for the plant, or is logwood not a plant? It is a plant, I believe. Rhonda said, I had a couple of books in natural dyes that were really good, but they burned. I'll see if I can find a picture and post to the group. Candy said, I have a hard time. What do you mean by that, Candy? I have a hard time getting good rhubarb stalks, but I can grow it. Do they just grow little? Kai said avocado gives a great pink. No mordant needed because the pit's mordant in the dye pot. Do you use the skin also, Kai? Eileen said log is it loxwood or should it be logwood? I don't know. It's a tree. It grows in South America, I think. Anne said I'll see him in my dreams. Oh, I just thought of you right away because you and who was the other person that was like, I think Karen was a little bit. Karen, were you a little bit excited about Jason Momoa? Okay, Candy said, yeah, my rhubarb stalks are always so skinny. I wonder if that is like blueberries or something, though. You know how some fruits, the smaller they are, the more flavor they have? And then if they get big, they're just like more water. I don't think, was it Carrie? I don't think it was Carrie. Which one of you is Gaga over Jason? No, it was Alice. It was Alice. I mean, no other channel can say that Matthew McConaughey showed up and then Jason Momoa a few weeks later. So, I mean, unless it's like Jimmy Kimmel's channel. I gotta see what this looks like. I'm sorry. Oh, also, I need my glasses. Yes, and you missed that too. John got it working. It's looking good. I'm gonna see if I can. I know it's very brightly lit, but Carrie said it was not for me. I only like one super hairy guy. Oh. Stacy said Jason's spinning. Oh my goodness. You guys are funny. Thanks, Crystal. It is turning out really pretty, isn't it? Marie said, if you need rhubarb, I can send you some in the summer. It's a Canadian variety. It should do well. Marie, I bought I think it was like a 2 dozen or 18 plants last year from, one of those places that ships the bare roots. And I think only like 3 or 4 of them made it. So I will totally buy them from you. 100%. Anne said, what is that? It's Purdy. It is BFL and Silk. And I don't remember the colorway name. John dyed it. And I just couldn't give all the braids away. I had to keep one. Tracy said, I could totally see Jason being a knitter. Stuff in the pale pink he likes to wear. Does he wear that color a lot? I cannot, because I don't think that he would sit still long enough, because he seems very like, I don't know the word, like he's all over the place. I mean, I guess I don't know him. Hello, Jan. Kai said, okay. Oh, yes, you made rhubarb thread before, right? I remember that. Dan said, sadly, Jason Momoa. I'm not sure how Dan got this information for us, is gone. And due to YouTube's rules about changing your screen name, he can't come back for the next 2 weeks. Crystal said R.I.P. Thank you for relaying that information for us, Dan. Tracy said a ton of pale pink. I guess I've never noticed that. The only thing I've ever noticed that he was wearing was that one time he wore a really beautiful tweed cable sweater, like the yarn had tweed bumps in it, and I was like, that sweater is so pretty. I think I screenshotted it so I could try to find a pattern or maybe reverse engineer the pattern. Hey Dawn, Candy said some rhubarb varieties are more red than others. Okay. We have talked about this before. Stacy said going to start cotton plants next month. My plants from this summer is in a pot inside and getting new growth. Do you then take it back outside, Stacy? Is it legal where you are? Because I was very surprised to find out it's not legal everywhere. Carrie said always late, just passing. Hello, Carrie. Deb said, OMG, same. He's too hyper and talks too much. You can't mute him in real life. Deb. Oh my gosh. What are you saying, Deb? That you mute him? Anne said, would you consider selling some of the taupe BFL silk undyed? I'd like to kettle dye some. I would. I'm out right now. I literally finished dyeing my last bump yesterday or the day before. The day before. When I get some in again, because I'll have to reorder it, I'll let you know. Dan said Jason and I are really close. Lisa said, time for me to go. Strictly Finished, but now is Pottery Throwdown. Is that a TV show? Why is everything Sunday evening? Hope everyone has a great week. You too, Lisa. I didn't even know that was a TV show, and I feel like I need to find it. Crystal said, wahoo, my lace singles didn't break apart. Anne said, Dan, will you be my friend? I want to meet Jason. Kai said, grow list for this year, flax, cotton, and indigo. Stacy, we will not discuss that. She said, yes, I'll take it out when it warms up. No, I think I'm breaking the law. Let me just say, your secret is safe with us. Eileen said, I'm spinning the braid I got last week in the wool show. Rainbow colors dyed on gray Corriedale. So pretty. Not enough dyes. Use gray bases. Dyers. Okay, I know you guys know that I've been doing more of that this year, and I love it. The more I do it, the more I love it. It's crazy. And not just the gray, but the taupe, like the tans and the taupes. Oh my gosh, I love them. Athena said, I am curious, why would growing cotton be illegal? I do not remember the reasons, but we did talk about that when we talked about it probably last spring. Kai said, bugs that like to live on the plant. It may have been the critters, because they don't want the critters. Okay, Crystal said there's a lot of reasons. See, I don't remember them. Irene said, do you mean that you are not allowed to grow cotton? Yes, some states in the United States, you're not allowed to grow certain kinds of cotton, and then certain ones you're not allowed to grow it at all unless you like have the right kind of permits and stuff. Stacy said it's not like a whole yard full of cotton. It's just a few plants. I got you, Stacy. Venus said it interferes with cotton growers, especially if you're growing colored cotton. I've only ever seen the green cotton. Chris said boll weevils. Rhonda said, I found the picture of the natural dye books I had and posted it. One of the books is specifically about growing a dye garden. Thank you for looking, Rhonda. That must have been a challenge. Eileen said, ooh, why is shipping from the USA so expensive? I don't know, but it's horrible. I would be all over your shop, Trish. I've been doing more and more of it, and honestly, like, I just love it. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to do it with yarns too, because I'm adding more and more yarns this year, and I think it makes sense to start dyeing some of the gray yarns. Oh, cotton can be illegal in some places because of the seed blowing into commercial crops. Anne said boll weevils. Lisa said Kool-Aid was my first dye, and more than 10 years later, I'm still using the basket. I felt it, and the colors still look great. That's nice. So have you ever had to wash it, Lisa? Because I don't think I've ever washed the scarf that I did. Kimberly said all 3 of my wheels are empty at the moment. Oh my goodness. All of my wheels are full practically. Trying to decide if I want to start spinning my Paradise Fibers January fibers or the beautiful hand-dyed humbug braid I got from the FLD Christmas exchange. Crystal votes the humbug. Are we voting? Because I love to tell other people what they should spin. Mindy said, I think I am almost late. I'm sorry, Mindy. I am getting ready to go. Carrie said humbug. Crystal said I just spun up some mystery mix that was humbuggy. Everybody wants to see the humbug. Chris said I have 12 brown cotton seeds. I did not know you could grow brown. I will contact LSU Ag Center to get a weevil trap set up. There we go. Stacey said there aren't boll weevils in Pennsylvania for now. I got it. I can read it. Kimberly said, Eileen, I may have found a cheaper shipping option for USA to UK. We'll chat. Kathy said, hopped on and looked who's live. Hi, Kathy. Bye, Jerry. Thank you for coming. Rhonda said, I happened to be talking to a friend in Pennsylvania who wanted to grow some dye plants and took the picture to send to her. According to the gallery on my phone, that was last February, so you had to go back a whole year. Thank you. Thanks for doing that for us. Eileen said it is pretty hard to get the natural colored yarn bases here in the UK. World of Wool only sells white yarns, I think. Oh, I don't know. People ask me a lot. You guys probably are going to think I'm crazy for telling it, but people ask me a lot where I buy my bases. So I mostly buy them from World of Wool. I do buy from World of Wool. And then also the yarn I buy from Wool to Dye For a lot of times. And they have some that's like humbug. So I think you can get different colored ones from World of Wool. I could be wrong though. I've not bought them yet. Chris said I was told you can only grow one color each year. I think it's something to do with cross-pollination. Interesting. Kai said humbug. Okay, since we're voting, should I spend December or January? December. Easy. Kimberly said humbug it is, but which wheel? CPW. Easy. Carrie said, Dan says, if it's humbug wool, does that make it humbug? Yes. 100%. Evie said, what type of gray would you use to dye a regular base or very watered down? What color gray? You mean which type of dye would I use? Carrie said January. Oh, it's a fight now. Eileen said, oh great, Kimberly, you are the best. Crystal says December. Crystal's with me. Teresa said I bought taupe BFL from World of Wool. Eileen said I think Laxton's might have some natural colored yarn. Chris thinks December is beautiful. Teresa said, and I bought a gray color natural wool there too. Don't remember the breed right now. Kimberly said, Eileen, I'm still scouring. We'll DM when all are ready to ship. Okay, it's 10 after. I think I am going to go, you guys. I still don't really know for sure what we're doing for dinner. Not ready. Carrie said December is definitely beautiful. That's why you spend January 1st, then have December to look forward to. That's like eating the muffin stump and saving the top for last. I don't know where that came from. I'm crazy. John and I were just recently talking about the muffin top, so you guys have a great week. There's a Tuesday video coming. It's going to be a surprise. And then a bonus on Friday, I think. So it's good to see so many of you. Yes, Chris said Seinfeld. Yep. Elsbeth said, I'm glad I caught a live in the first time ever. Great to see everyone. Thanks, Trish. It's great to see you. Ian said I'm spinning a bit of the fin I just dyed. Nice. I just finished the Purple Fin singles. I'll be plying this week. Uh-oh. Rhonda's getting snow in Texas. You guys have a great week. Thanks for taking the time.